Hey everyone, Aidan here with Catering Launch. Today we have a really cool video walking you through the best and easiest way to start booking $1,000 catering orders by leveraging your connections and the connections of your employees at companies all across town. It makes sense for all of us as restaurant owners to try and capitalize on warm leads, so people that we have connections with, before going after the totally cold leads, so people who've never heard of us. Let's dive in so you can see exactly what I mean. Now tomorrow, as soon as you walk into your restaurant, I want you to gather your managers and all your employees together and start creating a list of all the people that you know and all the people that your employees know who work for companies in your area. It could be an aunt, it could be an uncle, it could be a brother, a sister, a family friend, whoever it is. We just need contacts at companies around town. Now, in the list that you type up, include contact information like first name, last name, the name of the company they work for, email, and phone number if at all possible. If your employees only have a name, then you have to put them to work getting that additional contact information so that you can reach out to these people personally. Or alternately, you could do some digging on LinkedIn. The basic strategy here is that you are going to reach out to every single person on this list that you create and leverage your relationship or your employee's relationship with them to score some catering business. Now, don't limit yourself or limit your employees to 5, 10, or 15 names each. Try to get as many as you possibly can from every employee. The reason I encourage you to do this is that even your newest 16-year-old employee knows someone who works at a company in town that needs your catering services. Once you gather all this information, you need to bring it together into one place. So send out a Google Sheet with a tab for each employee so that they can then go in and fill out their information, and you can keep track of which contacts were sent in by which employee. Great, so now let's jump forward a few days in time. You've given your employees the chance to fill out the form. You filled in all of your info. And then, hopefully after you fill this out, you're looking at a list of 100 names or more. Now what you need to do is you need to get started doing the actual reach out portion of the strategy. So everyone that you know and who you added to the list, you can go ahead and start sending them an email message that looks a little bit like this. Now, keep in mind, you want to adapt and change this message a bit based on your relationship with that specific person, right? If they're a regular in your restaurant or someone you've known since childhood, a really fast friend, then you can just chat with them like you normally would. In this example, I'm going to talk to one of my friends named John, who I haven't seen in a few months. So I'd say something along the lines of this. Hey John, I hope you've been well recently. At my restaurant, we've been trying to expand the catering portion of our business. We deliver the best catering experience around for over 250 offices in town and would love to help at your company too. I'd appreciate your help connecting me with the person who buys lunches at your office. At my restaurant, as I'm sure you know, we pride ourselves on serving the best pizza in a great atmosphere. When we cater an office, we make sure that everyone involved in the process looks like a hero, and we put smiles on employees' faces. I want to send you a coupon to take your family out for some food on us. I've attached that to the email, and we look forward to serving you soon. Then just wrap it up with a simple, have an amazing day, Aidan. We want the people that we know to be excited when they recommend our restaurant to the food buyer, the decision maker at their office. Now, you can handle this, the logistics of this deal, however you prefer. I always chose to send people a pretty sizable gift card, so usually $50 or so, for them to take their whole family out for some pizza. So choose what you want to do that makes sense for your business, while keeping in mind that these contacts should be treated as much more than a random reach out, due to the personal connection with someone at your restaurant, whether that's you or one of your employees. Now, you don't have to send a gift card. Alternately, you could work with them and set up a time where they bring their family into your restaurant, and then you can take care of them personally. We just want to offer them something substantial in return for their help connecting with a person at their office who buys food. So later on in this reach out process, we're going to use reciprocity to our favor. By giving them a few free meals, you trigger their desire to help you. And that's a huge motivator that's going to gain you a powerful brand ambassador at many local companies. Now, as an ex-food buyer, I can tell you that I bought lunches for 300 people at restaurants that I otherwise wouldn't have thought of because someone gave me a recommendation. This is really powerful stuff. Now let's move on with the interaction. Say that maybe a week or two have passed. John brought his family in for food and I served them. Maybe John made the introduction to the food buyer at his office, or more likely he probably forgot. Either way, as long as they've taken you up on your end of the bargain, there's nothing wrong with asking them to keep their end. Now it's time to ask for your introduction. Here is exactly what I'd say. John, my friend, hopefully you enjoyed your meal. It was great to catch up with you and see the family. What a good looking bunch. As I mentioned in my earlier email, I really want your office to have the same great experience with my restaurant's food. Could I get your help connecting with the person or people at your office in charge of ordering food? In my experience, usually office managers, receptionists, and executive assistants are in charge of the process. An email or text message introduction works great, however you'd prefer to go. I appreciate the help, Aidan. This email sequence is simple and effective. There's almost zero chance that they ignore you, as you've helped them out with free food for their family and they just had an affirming experience that reminded them how great your restaurant is. Once they say yes, that they'd be willing to make an introduction, you can do one of two things. You can either let them make the introduction however they want, or you can give them a quick message template to work with, right? So, as with so much of the things that I talk about with catering, you just need to do what works best for every person and every different situation, and especially every specific restaurant, your restaurant, right? So here is a basic template for a message that I'd send to John with instructions for him to send this to Cindy, who we're going to say is the food buyer at his office. So no matter how we're getting the introduction, whether it's through text or through email, we kind of want to give them the exact same message. We want to get our point across without just word vomiting all over them. Just give them the basics and an easy way to reach out to you. Here's what my super simple message looks like. Cindy, I know you're the one who handles food and ordering lunches for and then you're going to insert company name, office. I want to introduce you to my friend Aidan. He runs the best pizzeria in town and is trying to expand his catering program. He does food for hundreds of offices in the area and is a real professional. Aidan wants to bring in a few pizzas so that we can give them a try before placing an order for the office. I've CC'd Aidan in this email, or I've copied Aidan on this text message conversation so that you can connect. Thanks, John. Right, so as we touched on earlier, this is John sending the message, so not me, right? So that's why it's sort of a third person there. But basically, this is the main message that we want John to send for us. By providing him with key ideas, we can be sure that Cindy gets all the relevant information about our goal, so our restaurant's goal, and how we are going to help their office out. The chances of getting a response to this email are great. But if for some reason, after a week or two has gone by, feel free to reach out to Cindy again. She could be on vacation or just super busy. As I'm sure we've all had emails and text messages that sort of slip under our radar. Listen really carefully to this next part because this is really important. Never say something along the lines of, hopefully you saw my earlier email, or hopefully you saw my earlier text. This is a passive-aggressive phrase and is going to put a bad taste in the food buyer's mouth. Cindy could become hostile if we reach out in this way, basically, just sort of criticizing her for not responding earlier. So instead, what you want to do is immediately dive into what you're saying as if you didn't send the earlier communication. Now, once you get a response from Cindy, let her know that you're willing to invest in her and her company to form a partner relationship. When you extend a hand offering free food, almost everyone is going to take you up on the offer. No one who gets this treatment is going to order from your competitors, right? They're going to send you an order and they're going to send it soon. Now, as we know, email is super effective, but actually hopping on a call with the office's food buyer is a much better way to close the deal. If your introduction was made over text, then try reaching out to the food buyer personally. By this point, having gone through my videos and hopefully learned a lot about catering, you're pretty much a master of persuasion and effectively communicating your restaurant's unique selling proposition. So closing the deal shouldn't be the hard part of this transaction. You want to give Cindy the same deal that you gave John. Send her a $50 gift card or offer to feed her whole family. When you pull out all the stops and provide them with a VIP experience, these food buyers, these catering decision makers are going to be sure that when you cater their office, everyone's going to get the same VIP treatment. Invest in your potential customers and they will become paying customers. It's a simple strategy that has made me hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it will make you the same amount if you apply it at your restaurant. After following the steps in this strategy, Cindy will almost certainly order catering from your restaurant. It might be a few $100s of business every month, or it could very well be a few $1,000s of business every month, totaling tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the next year. Either way, you've leveraged a contact to make a significant sale to a customer with a high lifetime value. That's the purpose of everything that we do behind catering, is acquiring these customers who are going to spend today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So what I want you to do is rinse and repeat this process for every person on the list that you've created. This is a super powerful strategy to kickstart your outbound marketing. A popular business phrase comes to mind. It's not what you know, it's who you know. With catering, our network is absolutely everything, and we need to use our connections 1 or 2 degrees of separation from food buyers across town. Of all the ways that I know to book catering business, reaching out to people on this who you know list is the most powerful strategy of all, and you can expect a conversion rate of 90% or higher. You're going to be so glad that you took the time to make this list, follow up with everyone, and book business a couple weeks down the road. Give this a try at your restaurant, then below in the comments, let me know how it went. I know you're going to make a lot of connections and add to your catering network in an effective and extremely profitable way. As always, to everyone out there, thanks for watching, and let's absolutely crush it with catering this week. See ya.